this
much.
Christmas Eve. An inspiring new memoir shares the story of a Piedmont man's battle against cancer while in his 20s. We'll meet the author, Eric Hogan, next.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Live. In his educational and inspiring new memoir, author Eric Hogan is sharing his story about how he battled cancer in his 20s.
Eric joins us now on this Christmas Eve with more. Welcome. Merry Christmas, Eric.
Nice to meet you.
Tell us a little bit about your diagnosis. When did this all happen?
It was about May 2003. I had a lot of back pain, and I eventually went to the internet, look up back pain, and a lot of it said that it would be like a several-month wait before it might get better, so I delayed going to the doctor. Eventually, when I did go to the doctor, they did x-rays and it showed up normal. Then I eventually was sent to physical therapy, and that didn't do anything. So many months later, he did an MRI, and that showed tumors in my spine. And they did a biopsy, and it showed up as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and that's how they diagnosed it.
Wow. Well, when did you decide to write the book? Did you kind of keep a journal during this whole process?
Yes. When it was going on, I did an electronic journal on my computer. Just kind of helped me get through my feelings at the time. And as I was doing that, it kind of morphed into the idea of doing a book later on. And so for the most part, when it was going on, I was writing it, and then I had the bone marrow transplant, and I was too busy with that. And then so years later, I filled in the gaps where I eventually made the book.
And this is about 13 years ago that this all began for you. You were, what, 24 years old?
Yes.
I can't put my mind around hearing a diagnosis of cancer when I'm 24 years old.
Yeah, it was the last thing you expect. I mean, a lot of people, you would assume you get that when you're older, and at the time I hadn't had a family, a career, any of that yet. And it's just like your world comes crashing down and you don't know how to handle it. It's pretty scary. And I was going to nuclear medicine school at the University of Oklahoma at the time, and it was probably my first weekend is when I got my diagnosis.
Wow. How did you talk with your family about this, and how did you all cope with the situation together?
Well, at the same time I was diagnosed, my grandfather, he had prostate and lung cancer. So we were already dealing with that at the time. I remember I got the phone call, and I told them, and my parents didn't believe me. I joke around a lot, so they kind of like, that's not true. But it was, and we just kind of pulled in together and got through it, as tough as it was.
Eric, putting a very personal part of you into a book called Backbone, what are you hoping, who are you targeting with this book, and what do you hope that they get from reading the pages?
Anyone dealing with cancer, I hope it just kind of helps them realize that with hope and a determination to get through it, that you can see the other side and get to a normal life.
I notice one thing you focus on is think survivor, not I'm a victim of something. I'm going to be a survivor and then become the survivor.
Right. I think that's a big point of surviving, is just knowing you're going to get through it. I think if you're depressed the whole time and you let yourself get defeated by it, you're just going to get sicker and sicker. And just having hope, I think, lifts you up, just having hope.
Is that what you want readers to take away from, or what message would you want them to take away from the book?
I'd want them to know that that there is a way through it. You can get through it, and just have a positive outlook, and go to your friends and family whenever you're dealing with this, and it'll help you, and I think it'll make you a better person once you get through it.
Well, you can meet Eric. He'll be at the Full Circle Bookstore on January 18th from 3 to 5 with a book signing there. Again, January 18th. Come out and meet Eric and learn more about his story and get the book signed. And Eric, again, thanks for spending this Christmas Eve with us.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We're glad you're a survivor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, coming up, a Christmas wish comes true.